All right, so hello everybody. I'm in a trade this morning on the E-mini S&P. I got in just right here. Markets opened up on 9:30 around here, and it's kind of just choppy behavior right now. And if we look at the technical analysis just from the glance of it, it doesn't look like anything too definitive. Um, but for me, this is like characteristic of a choppy market, and I'm going to go through this trade and we'll see what happens. But this is definitely not one of those killer setups. I like to see setups that are extremely biased in one direction. But I get a lot of messages, emails, and people ask me about trading, choppy markets and so forth, because some people lack the patience to wait for you know, the killer setups. And the setup is okay in my book, so I took it, and I think the cards are stacked in my favor for this one, so we'll see what happens. So, just from the beginning, the markets opened up. I characterize this as choppy. Why? It's just, chop up and down. There's no definitive price movement. That's number one. Number two is in the indicators. Look at the inbox histogram. It went up, it went down. And here kind of there's more selling pressure, but it's nothing seems too definitive here. And then when you look at the Q delta, okay, whereas the inbox histogram looked like there's maybe more selling pressure, and in the Q delta it looks like there's more buying pressure, right? So it's like neither here nor there, all right? The biggest clues that we have, XPace, right? XPace, clearly we can show that the bids are in control, all right? So I'm going to start marking up the chart. So, we see that here, here, and here, that the bids are in control. And the thing is, the reason why I would even consider this trade in the choppy market is because of this sort of defined channel. We have this defined range, right, where we had previous resistance, and we're kind of hitting up against it, and we had, previous support, and that's here. So we kind of got a range here, right? So if it's a choppy market, one of the characteristic behaviors is to, bounce up, on and off of this range. All right. And the other thing I want to show is, I like to zoom out, and I have a lot of videos where I say that the volume or the buying selling is exceeding the previous day, and here it's clearly not, right? So on Friday we had a lot more action volatility than we do right now. So comparing to the previous trading day, also that's another sign that, perhaps this market's not as volatile or strong right now, and that we should not expect great moves from it. Okay, so even looking at the indicators comparing to the previous day, to me it looks choppy. So that's the expectations that I'm going to set. It looks like the trade is going in our favor, almost 3,000 in profits. We had total control here. Maybe I would have added on a position, but I guess I didn't get to it. Anyway, so what do we see? So some of the important things that I will note is that we had this up wave is 295, demand 73, and then the 99. Okay, so the 99 shows that there's an attempt to push up with, trying to increase demand from the 73 to 99, still a lot less than 295. But, where is the buying at, right? And I can see that in the cumulative delta because, look at that. We've got this large up bar going up with a lot amount of pace. Oh, we could see what happens. I don't know. Maybe we won't make it this time. We'll see. Actually, I'm got to keep an eye on this trade now. the other possibility, because we're in some chop, this is a large bar, we got a lot about a pace, but what's the follow through? Is there going to be follow through? It looks like we're coming right back down. If it can sustain it, I might enter another position then. So looks like we're whipping right back down. If that's the case, and we hold, then potentially I'd add another position. Well, let's see. This trade is, I gotta manage it more carefully. So we still close down. I'm gonna go for it. So we averaged in. I did not like this bar at all, this up bar, so I'll protect my stops right. Put the stop right above it just in case we get stopped out. But, if it continues going down, then this could have been sort of climactic potentially. Because while we have accompanying buying here, the M-box histogram is showing overall more selling. So it's like a chop. So, this is why trading chop is tricky, right? And, take profits I would take at the edges of the range, like right here. I put my take profit, and we'll see if we get to it. Anyway, I think I'm in it now for do or die, so I'll just continue with the analysis the way that I saw it. 295, 73, 99. So here we have attempt to increase the demand product, but the buying is down in the M-box histogram. So that's showing us that it's weak. Another thing that I saw here is that the cumulative, and I began talking about this, the cumulative delta. If we look at the buying here, at the time we had the 99, it's similar to this, right? And if we look at 295, we had a lot more demand here than the 99, but similar amount of buying, a little less buying. So to me, that was a divergence. And to me, this area right here at the top of the range looked overbought. That's the reason I entered this trade, is because I saw that potentially it could be an overbought situation. So we have plus 99 demand, but overbought. All right, and we see that in the cumulative delta here as well, the overbought situation. And the M-box histogram shows us less buying. See, this is the thing about CHOP, right? We're getting different points of data and it's hard to interpret, right? So cumulative delta shows overbought, M-box histogram shows less buying. So why don't they both show overbought? Because cumulative delta shows overall buying and selling. I talked about it in my webinar. Overall. So overall, we are overbought, and at this point of time, we lack buying. It's actually, so it's not a bad confluence at, resistance, like a buying at resistance, which is here at the 99. Looks like we're coming down. Maybe we'll make it. I chose this take profit because we had this support, and support. So I just took it here instead of the lowest of them, just to kind of give some space. Okay, and we got the minus 160. Look at that. So we've got quite a bit of supply coming in here. this is a choppy, the inbox histogram, but if you had to pick sides, right, I would, say the selling because we got more selling pressure here. If you had to pick sides, right? So it's about seeing as the glass half full or half empty. More selling pressure than buying right here, right? So this is all I've got going on here. I'm just going off what I see, right? So there's more selling pressure than buying. Yes. Okay, I can see that here. And we got a drop in the buying. Yes. Right? So that looks more bearish. Also, let's not forget we had the total control, bid control dot here, strong control dot here, and a strong control dot here. Okay, and we didn't see any, we just had tiny offer dots. So, the XKontrol shows bids dominating. All right. Shows the bids dominating. Cumulative dollars show we are overbought. And now that we've come down, and this, to me, which, I was talking about as I was drawing, became climactic. Okay, it did give me concern. But this ultimately became climactic, which, when it whipped back down, it looked like, this move was short-lived. Climactic and effort, no result. Why? Because, let me get that color. Why is it effort, no result? Brownie points for people that can identify why. Why? Because we had this huge pace of offers and it was not accompanied with the appropriate amount of buying or demand. All right. So we had some buying here, but no buying here. So, it's not a complete picture. So the buying was lacking in the inbox histogram and the demand was lacking. So this pace of offers failed to produce the demand and buying necessary for a price to continue going up. And now look what's happening. The selling is expanding. So albeit we're going a bit slow. But after this box formed, we had renewed selling. Here we had renewed selling. Renewed selling. All right. So we got to wait a little bit, see what happens. Maybe I should talk about, the thing is that, the best thing you can do in this game is to be patient, right? Taking, trades that are sort of, neither here nor there. It's not the best thing to do. This wasn't the best trade I've ever taken. No. Long shot from that because of this choppiness is less definitive, and when it's choppy you are more likely to get stopped out. But due to this, the only reason I got into it, like I said, is because this demand buying divergence, right? We had demand and overbought. So those are powerful setups to look for in MBOX. Divergences of demand and buying and supply and selling. And there we go. We hit it. And look at that. On the bars going strong. Maybe this is the beginning of a downtrend. Maybe it's going to whip back up because we're hitting major support. But I'm done for the day. So it's not concern necessarily for me what's going to happen next, right? And I already racked my brains trying to analyze this setup, so I'm not even going to bother trying to analyze what's going to happen next. But anyway, so we're up $8,625 for the day, so I'm pleased with that. So this was a choppy setup. I I saw a potential for this, so I wanted to get it on video to record it to show people, because some people seem to enter, choppy setups. You got to manage your risk accordingly. That's the main thing. Better to wait for the killer setups like I show usually. Those are the ones I usually wait for. But if you got to trade and sometimes it's boring to wait, then a setup like this where you define the top of the range, the bottom of the range, and just exit at the edge, it could work. All right, well, that's it for me today, and hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.